Welcome back to Mind Pump TV. I'm Adam, I'm your host, and we are on day 4 of your guys' MAPS Green MAPS Performance program right now. So we are back to your mobility day. So every other day is going to be a mobility day. Every other day is a foundational workout. So today is your second time that we're taking you through mobility exercises. We've picked 4 different movements. Again, the program has a ton of these mobility exercises. We just picked our favorite 8 to teach you guys, to let you have an opportunity to test drive the program, which also, if you guys are already loving the program, you know it's the right one for you. Below, there'll be direct links to go straight to our website, and you guys could purchase that program. If you have questions about the program, you guys can just leave that below in the comment box. Somebody will get back to you guys. Make sure you guys pay close attention to all the movements and the cues. Sal and I are going over the cues as they perform the exercises. And then at the end of the video, Sal's going to wrap it all together, go over why we program this way, why we put these specific movements in here. Stay tuned. We got one more day coming for this program.
All right, so now we're doing an exercise or a movement called Good Mornings. You can use a stick for this just to give you some guidance, but you don't really have to. You'll notice that there's no weight on this stick. It actually weighs nothing at all.
I recommend using a stick or a barbell, though, just to get them back in that position. It teaches you to retract the shoulders to help keep that neutral spine. Otherwise, people tend to roll forward. So I'm a big fan of having a stick or a barbell there while doing this mobility move, even though, like you said, Sal, it's not necessary.
Now, these are called Good Mornings because, when servants would greet their masters, they would bend over and say good morning, and they would have to lean forward at the hips. And that's the important part of this exercise is you don't bend at the spine, you bend at the hips. Notice how Jessica's hips slide back. She leads with her chest, and she's got great posture the entire time. That's the hips that are working, the glutes and the hamstrings. We're not trying to round the back.
Notice that she pauses at both end ranges too, so you're kind of pausing, creating tension each time at the end range. Take your time with these moments like you're just trying to get reconnected.
Excellent. Coming up next, push-up to shoulder rotation. All right, so with this movement, you're going to get in a push-up position, do a push-up, and then rotate. Now, you can do these off your knees like you're watching this video, or you can do them traditional off your feet, which is a little more difficult.
Right, you're going to get a little bit more rotation if you do these off your feet. So if you can, do them off your feet. Otherwise, this is a mobility drill. We are just trying to work on that upper body mobility, get a little bit of that rotational work in there too. So take your time, challenge the end ranges of motion, pause for a few seconds, then rotate back. You're shooting for anywhere between 5 to 10 on each side.
And you want a tight core the entire time. People get real loose in their lumbar when doing push-ups. So brace your core while you're doing this movement. Coming up next is the inchworm to upward facing dog. All right, so you want to get down onto the floor, keeping your legs straight, walk forward into what's called upward facing dog with good tension, come up, and then walk forward to meet your hands to repeat this exercise.
So this is like an inchworm plus downward dog plus upward dog, right? It's all 3 of them combined.
That's it. It's a fantastic mobility movement for the entire body.
Pay attention to how slow and controlled she's going too.
All right, we're doing the lizard with rotation. You want to get into a low lunge position supported by your hand and feet, split stance. You want to bring your elbow down to the floor and then rotate and point all the way up.
Notice how she's challenging both in range motions. So she rotates in, points the elbow, then opens all the way up, looks back at her pinky. Really work on that rotation.
Now the foot that's forward, that's the hand that's rotating. So you don't want to mix it up and do the opposite. You won't reap the benefits of this fantastic movement.
That's right. We're going to rotate 10 on this side, and then she'll bring her left leg forward and get 10 on the opposite side.
All right, guys, this is the second mobility session of the week. Remember, mobility session is designed to get you more mobile, obviously, but connected to new ranges of motion so that all the strength you gain from phase 1 is transferable, or at least safe and stable in different ranges of motion. Let's go over the movements you did today. First movement, good mornings. We're doing that because you did some heavy deadlifts yesterday. So we're working on that hip hinging, working through full ranges of motion, stretching the hamstrings. Like the video shows, do it with good control. Then you're doing your push-ups with or to, shoulder rotation. This is a great rotational movement. Opens up the shoulders, opens up the chest. Do it with good tension. Everything has to have good tension. Otherwise, the mobility sessions aren't nearly as effective. The third movement, inchworm to upward dog. I know it says up dog there. Tell your friend up dog. He'll say, what's up dog? That's a bad joke. So inchworm to up dog. That's a full movement the entire time. You're working on the thoracic spine, you're working on the shoulders, and you're also working on that hip hinging. Again, we're keeping in mind that yesterday we did deadlifts, so today we're going to focus on mobility around that kind of a movement. Finally, you finished with your lizard with rotation. This is Adam's favorite mobility move. In fact, somewhere buried on this channel is a video of Adam showing mobility movements, and lizard is the one that he starts with. Share this video with your friends, get them on board. Remember, this is phase 1 of MAPS Performance, or at least the first 5 days of phase 1, which includes the mobility sessions. MAPS Performance does have 4 phases. It's a long program, so if you're interested in checking it out, go to mindpumpmedia.com. Also, if you have questions, put them in the comments. And finally, subscribe to this channel because I said so.